Welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears. And you're wondering why can't we see your face, Lynn? Because I wanted to show you this cool shirt that my niece made. First generation Chicago Bears fan, established 1975. Yep, that's when I became a Bears fan. And my niece made these t-shirts for me, my son, my son's wife, and my grandkids. So they're on their t-shirts, and some of theirs are blue and some of theirs are orange. It says second generation Chicago Bears fan and third generation. Isn't that cool? I'm blessed. I have a very wonderful family, and my niece, she just rocks it, man. She came up with this design all herself. Very cool. And last year for Christmas, she gave me business cards for my show. So, because when I'm out and about in Vegas, there's a lot of Bears fans around here and stuff. So I'm passing them out. You never know. I could get viewers, right? Because you tell them about your show, and they're gonna forget the name when they go back home. So, anyways, welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears, Game 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. And I wanted to say something in the beginning here. I started the show 6 years ago because I was bored. I'm a widow. I live alone. My son's not that far away, but when COVID first started, and they locked us all down, everybody was freaked out. I was so bored. And my friends are like, well, you love the Bears and you love to talk. So that's how the show started. But I tried to keep it simple, funny, did my statistics, but made laugh. But each year it's gotten harder and harder and harder because of how the Bears are playing. And I'm going to try to be a little lighter today. I'm going to give you some stats for how we about the Bears, and then I'm going to talk about stuff that's gone on this week, okay? So we are 0-2. We know that. We're playing Dallas this weekend, Soldier Field. That's an advantage. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw you guys were having a ton of rain back there. So a rain game is always fun. I love rain games, or I call them weather games, but I like that. I particularly like snow games the best, but maybe that'd be to our advantage. Don't know. So anyways, we're playing the Dallas Cowboys, who are 1-1. And they have played 26 times, and they started in November 1960 is when they first met. Dallas has 14 wins to the Bears 12. But I got a great, real quick, funny Super Bowl 1985. I got to get back to telling some of my funny stories because I got a million of them. But in 1985, yep, I was alive, very much alive, married, no kid yet, but, and the Bears, 85, that was just a magical season. And long story short, I ended up, when we were losing the game against Minnesota, and Jim McMahon came in, we were losing, that was in the middle of the season, and he just brought us all the way back, and we won that game. And what I did was I sat in this chair because my husband wasn't behind me, and he was on the phone. Somebody called, I think his mother, and he was talking to her. So I took this small captain's chair, not a tall one, but a small one that we had, and I set it right in front of the TV, and I was watching the TV, and I was watching the game, and the Bears came back. So I was like, this chair is lucky. So the rest of the season, I kid you not, I sat in that stupid, wooden, uncomfortable captain's chair the rest of the season. Now, of course, they lost to Miami. I don't think I was sitting in that chair that day. But it was funny because my friends invited us over for the Dallas game. We were playing Dallas in Dallas, the Bears, that season. And they invited us over for the game, and I brought the chair. And the Bears won 40-40 nothing. We had a blast. But that chair became quite a conversation during the Bears and season, which was it was just so much fun. And you know what? I'm not one of those that dwell on, because it's been 40 years. It was great. I'll never forget it. I mean, I have so many memories from that season. We were at the game where Refrigerator Perry, it was a Monday night game, and he did his first touchdown. He went in and got it, and we were right there in the end zone where he was when he spiked the ball. It was cool. So great year. But I would rather win one now, and let's start talking about that, right? So, and this is my goal. I want to watch one more winning Super Bowl with my son. My son was alive in 2006, but we all know what happened. They sucked and they lost. And so I'd like to see a winning Super Bowl with my son and my grandkids before I leave this earth. So let's hope that happens. And I'm not getting any younger Bears. So, okay, that's my funny story for the day. Okay, let's talk a few stats. I always do this before every game. I compare compare the passing, rushing, points scored, and points allowed between both teams and where they stand in the league. So the Bears, not that great. The Bears passing average is 201 yards right now. That puts them 19th in the league out of 32 teams. Dallas is passing 265 yards, and that puts them 7th. So we're in big trouble. Rush game, you know how I feel about the rush game, but it's not as bad as it could be, but I'm not happy with it. You know that. And the reason we are where we are, we have 126 yards rushing, 12th in the league, is because Caleb Williams is running a lot. Not Swift, it's Caleb Williams. And he's adding to that, excuse me, I'm sweating. He's adding to that total. Dallas, this is funny. Dallas is averaging 127 yards, and that puts them 11th. So they're 11th, we're 12th. So something's got to give Sunday. Let's hope it's onto the Bears side. The Bears have scored mealy little 22.5 points a game. That puts them 15th. This is the bad one for us. Dallas has been scoring an average of 30 points, 5th in the league. Oh, we're in trouble. Points allowed by our defense. Well, we wouldn't be this bad after that if it wasn't for that Detroit game. They gave up 52 points. They've averaging 39 points a game out of only 2 games, and that puts them dead last, 32nd, and that's where they belong. Now, Dallas ain't too far behind because they're averaging giving up 30 points a game, and that puts them 27th. So that's a good thing for us, right? Yeah. So gives you a little bit idea. Of course, it's early. It's only the 3rd game, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to compare Cabe and Dak Prescott. And I know people say, Cabe, who's Cabe? I call him Cabe. A lot of people don't like it. My son is like, that's not his name. I'm like, well, it is on my show, and it's my show. So number 18, our quarterback, Cabe, is 40 attempts. 40 completions on 65 attempts. He has a total of 417 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So that's a good ratio so far. Then we've got Dak, who has completed 59 of 86 passes for 549 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So the touchdown ratio and interception are about the same. Cabe has been sacked 6 times, and he has rushed for 85 yards. See what I mean? That adds to the total of 126. So he is averaging better than our running back. Dak Prescott, the Dallas quarterback, has been sacked 3 times, and he's not much of a rusher. He's rushed for 20 yards. Our leading rusher, which is pathetic in my opinion, Swift, for 2 games, he's got 116 yards rushing, 1 touchdown, and 1 fumble. Their leading running back is Williams, and he's averaging 151 yards with 3 touchdowns and no turnovers. So, and you know how I feel about Swift. You watch my show. I don't think they should have ever signed him. I don't think and we just don't have, he's not the answer. So then Rome, he's our leading wide receiver, and I think that he is just going to take off more and more and more. Him and Williams are going to start this rapport, and I think it's going to be a 1-2 with those two. I really, really do, because this is his 2nd year, and I think he's really going to mature. Number 15, Rome, has 165 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Moore, who I think is turning out to be a big disappointment and a prima donna a little bit. Moore, number 2, has 114 yards receiving. For Dallas, CeeDee Lamb has 222 yards receiving, and their next leading receiver is their tight end, Ferguson, who has 101 yards. So take it what you may of those. Our defense, just a real quick here. Our defense has 3 sacks, 1 interceptions, no fumbles yet. Dallas has 4 sacks, 1 interceptions, and no fumbles. So our defenses are actually very similar in statistics right now, right? Okay, so that's kind of that. So I'll talk about the injuries real quick. It's not great. Dallas really has no noteworthy injuries at all. Lucky them. JJ did not practice. Number 53, our linebacker from Lake Villa, Illinois. Number 53, Edwards, our linebacker, didn't practice. Number 6, Gordon, our backfield, wonderful backfield guy, didn't practice. Um, and so those guys, I'm pretty sure, are going to be out. Also, who didn't practice was number 50, our defensive guy, Garrett. And then number 20, our rookie wide receiver, Walker, limited practice. And Swift, great. Number 4, Swift, limited practice. So limited practices will probably play, but the other guys aren't. And our defense is just downright hurting. And with Swift being, I would really like, because Johnson is off, our running back is off injured reserve now. So I really like to see Johnson get in there and take most of the carries with our rookie, Kyle. Number 25, I think. He's our rookie. Let's see them do it because Swift isn't the answer. I keep saying it. I'm sure the regulars are getting tired of it, but I've been saying it for 2 years, and it's just a fact. So I think you got to get other guys in there and see what they can do, okay? So those are just a few statistics that I'm going to talk about. Again, game 3, and I've been saying all year, well, for 3 shows, it's still early. And I say by game 3, if not 4, you're going to know what kind of team you have. Because now in football, it's not the same as it was before. 20 years ago, they had different training camps, and they came prepared to play. They don't play them hard, and a lot of teams don't play their starters in training camp. So they don't and that's why the penalties are up, the injuries are up, and I think it's a huge mistake, but that's the contract the players got. So, live with it. So the first 4 games are rough for some teams, and I think there's 10 teams that are 0-2, so it's not just us. And Texas, Kansas City, 0-2. Now they got talent, and I'm sure they're going to turn it around. So let's talk about what I've been hearing, what I read, what I think. One thing I will say about, I'm going to kind of step back from the negativity, some of it right now for this show, and talk about Johnson. Okay, he's a new coach, new era, completely different from what we've had the last, 6 years. And he's kind of a hard ass, but he needs to be. And it is going to take time for the players and the coaches to mesh, and especially with Ben. And I think that that's part of it. So we got to remember it's new for everybody. And number 18, our quarterback, I haven't really been on him at all. You know what? That interception last week was ill-advised, but it was after 2 penalties in a row on the offense, and I think he was just trying to make something happen. And that's when quarterbacks get in trouble, when they try to put it all on their shoulders. But Cabe, remember, it's his second year, yes, and he should be making strides, and he is, but he's also with a brand new system, and I hear it's very difficult. So it's really his first year when you think about it. So I don't know what they're saying in Illinois, but I'm putting out the noise with Cabe Williams and the offensive line. I don't think it's their problem. Yes, we should be scoring more points, but they're getting there. And again, if we had a run game, I think there would be more points on the board, but we know we don't have. So we got to fix that. But Williams, we're going to leave him alone. Let him. I'm going to see what he does this year, and then we'll go from there. But it is the team, the culture has changed in that locker room, and I hope everybody is buying on. And once they do, I think Johnson and the team will start the rock and roll, except for the talent level is a problem too. I think it's rearing its ugly head. That's why people are getting on polls. I said it last week. The Bears should never have given him that extension during the offseason, because if they want to fire him now, they're going to pay for it. I think they should have waited till the end of the season, because it is showing, except for that one blockbuster trade he did, how we got Williams, his drafting and some it hasn't been great. It just hasn't. So So, and our defense, we know. So let's talk about it a little bit. So I saw Johnson in a press conference, and I thought this was interesting what Ben Johnson said. Ben Johnson said, you know what? I haven't seen, we're not up to snuff on the practice field. Our practice habits are yet to reflect a championship caliber team. Excuse me. So, what does that tell you? That tells you that he's not seeing what you see on that practice field, you're going to see on that playing field on Sunday. And he's not. And I think that's been a problem for the Bears for a few years. I don't think they're getting the best out of them. I just think some of these players are like Lily, Dilly, or whatever you call it, and we got to get this team. You've got injuries, and so second guys, third guys, they've got to step up and play, and we're in trouble on the defense. So then Johnson, this was real interesting. I heard him say, he said, he was talking about it at a press conference. He said, yes, we're hurting ourselves with penalties. Penalties. And the Bears are third in the league on the most penalties. They have 23, I think, 20. And I forget who's first. I have it written down somewhere, but I think it might be Houston Texans. I'm not sure, but 20 is a lot in 2 games. It's too many. And you know what? I've been seeing, there's a lot of teams up there with double digits right now. And again, I think it's lack of discipline, it's lack of concentration, lack of playing together in the preseason. That's where those stupid penalties come. But the Bears have got to stop the penalties. You know how I feel about penalties. They're destructive. They're unnecessary. They're just a train wreck. You know what I mean? So Bears have got to get their heads in the game. And these are on the offense, particularly a lot of pre-snap penalties. And that just is ridiculous. I mean, those are the dumbest. That is lack of concentration to me, period. Discipline and concentration. And then these holding penalties, you live and die by them on the offensive line, right? So, but penalties are killing them, and they've got to stop. They have got to have 5 or less this week. I'm saying it, and you know it. And then he went on to say, which I found this very, very interesting. After they watched the game tape after the Detroit game, they didn't like some of the stuff they saw so he said, so when our wide receivers don't have the ball in their hands, which meaning they were thrown to and they're running or it's coming to them, they are not liking what they're seeing from the other wide receivers on the field. I don't know if it includes tight ends, but we'll throw them in there. Wide receiver, basically he said wide receivers. So what he's saying is he's not liking what he's seeing from the other guys if they don't have the ball. So either they're not doing their blocking, they're not running their routes correctly, they're not staying focused in the game to make sure, turn around, maybe Cabe needs some help. So he said that this week we're going to have a competition with all the wide receivers and see who wants to play in the game on Sunday. And I like it. Don't you? So what they're seeing, we don't see, you can see it if you're there and you're very dedicated to watching what's going on the field. But when you're at home watching on the game, on TV, they're not showing you they're only showing you where the ball and the player is. That's what they're showing you. They're not showing you the guys that are doing the blocking, running other routes. So I like it. And I have a feeling DJ Moore is one of these guys. I feel like, and I could be wrong, and I hope I am, because when he first came here, he was like, yeah, great. We're going to make this team great. And I don't know, last year towards I know everybody was pretty down. It was a rough year last year, no doubt about it. But it seemed to me like more, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am. But I'd like to see, yes, we want to get Rome involved more. We want to get DJ involved more. I want particularly to get the tight ends. Clement and Loveland, which we don't really know Colston that much because he hasn't really played, so we don't know if he's good. But we know Cole Clement is got to get them. I heard coming in when we got Ben Johnson, he loves tight ends. Well, let's throw to him once in a while, Ben. Ooh. So competition is really, really a good thing, and I like it. And maybe it'll wake a few people up, right? That, you know what? I got to step up. I gotta help this team. I gotta earn my paycheck and help and win for the fans. So a couple guys on the Bears were on Chigo, CHGO, uh, and with Greg Braggs Jr. He's one of the guys who I just love. He found me. Was it last year? Earlier, he saw after one of the Green Bay, the only Green Bay loss last year. He found me ended up liking me because he's like I have the passion and I just say it like it is. And he's on Chigo, CHGO every day, and Garrett, our defensive player, number 50, was on the show, and he said, our head coach, he is our leader. And if he says it isn't good enough, then we have to answer the call. Hello, this guy gets it. So, of course, he's hurt now, so I don't know if he'll be on the field, but he's right. Answer the frickin' call. You know what? The Bears fans are so loyal, and we have been putting up with so much these last 6 years or longer. It's enough. And these guys better step up. I see other teams out there when major players get hurt, and then they got somebody coming in. Last night was a perfect example. The Bills and the Miami game. The Bills defense had a lot of starters on the bench, and they were hurting. And it showed up because they gave 21 points, gave up to Miami. But the other guys stepped up and they played when they needed to. They were hurting in the first half. They came back and just buckled down and didn't let they only let them score one more touchdown, and they won the game, the Bills 28-21. But my point is, the passion from the second and third string guys. You know what? If the first string guys don't want to do it, then put the other guys in. Because I'd rather have guys playing that want to play and are given 110%, not guys that aren't, that are just milking it, okay? So you got one player there that gets it, and he's 100% right. If we're not good, then we better step up and show. And then Swift, this is interesting, he says he's been doing everything he can do. Oh, okay. And he said, but as players, we need to lead and execute. Oh, I'm sorry. I misquoted that. Ben, our head coach, Ben, let me start over. I sorry about that. Ben, our head coach, he's doing everything he can do to make us win on the field. Swift says, but as players, we need to lead and execute. And he's 100. That's one of the few times I will say, yeah, Swift, I'm on your side. Because, you know, I don't like him. But he's 100% right. They have to execute, lead by example. They've got to step up. And I just haven't really seen that. I want to see some. You know, I saw in the second and third game in the preseason, I saw second and third stringers trying their ass off because they wanted to make that team. I saw more will and heart than I did in preseason that I believe I'm seeing on the team right now. And I hope I'm wrong. I really am. So our biggest problem right now is the defense, in my opinion. It's been a long time since we said that. Of course, JJ, one of the best safeties in the league, and Gordon are out. So that has really hurt. Neither one of them have played, and that just shows you. I mean, last year we had the best backfield, and you know, with Brisker, 29. Brisker's not 29. He's 9. He's awesome. I love this kid. He was kind of saying the other day, I heard him say, you know, I wish they would put me up at the line of scrimmage more, because when last year and in past, when they put Brisker and they put him up to the line of scrimmage to try to rush the quarterback or seem like he does, he in the past has had 18 pressures, 7 sacks. I mean, and we've seen him do that. But right now, in my opinion, with the defense being so hurt in the backfield, that's why we're not seeing Brisker up there more, because they can't afford it. They need him back in the backfield to help settle that down, because I'm very disappointed, and I think a lot of people are, on number 25, Stevenson. Stevenson, right? 29. Did I say 25? 29 Stevenson. He's in the backfield, and he is having a very bad season. This kid, I don't think has ever been right since he fucked up the Hail Mary. Him and Flus fucked up that Hail Mary in Washington. Or, like somebody said to me, maybe Stevenson hasn't ever been that good. He had a couple flashes because he has J.J., Brisker, and Gordon in the backfield with him. So you're right. 3 guys probably made him look better because he's having a bad year. Quarterbacks are teeing off on him, and it's going to happen big time on Sunday. Quarterbacks, when they are nearly perfect when they target him. Listen to these stats. He has been giving up 158.3 passer rating when he has been targeted, which means, I'll break it down, he's been allowing 7 receptions on 8 targets this season for 124 yards. He's been giving up pretty much 15.5 yards attempt and 1 touchdown. So he's just having a bad year. He seemed to in the first game, was it? I called him out because he was all over the place, but not since. And I didn't realize that he has been the target. So they're going to target him, because those guys are out, and they find the other teams have found the flaw in the backfield, and that is number 29. Now Stevenson, he better step up if he wants to finish on this team and stay with this team, because he is what, 3rd year with the Bears, I think. So he's got to do it. But he can. If he continues to do this, these quarterbacks coming in to play the Bears are going to lick in their chops. I mean, he's given up 7 out of 8 passes that gone his way for 124 yards and a touchdown. Not good. Okay, so you know what? This week it's Sunday. We got a team to come out there. They're 0-2. The only thing they can do is go up, and that's what they need to do. We're banged up, but on the defensive line, I've been pretty disappointed in them. And Sweat, I did hear something about Sweat that they said. I don't know if I said this last week, but he's only got what? I think he has a sack, or did he not even? No, they took it away. That's right. So, and he didn't have double digits last year, sacks. So Sweat really, a big contract he signed a year and a half ago, and I mean, you know what? Prove me wrong, Sweat. Prove me wrong and get double digits this year, because that's what they paid you for. And you know what? I know Khalil Mack is hurt in San Diego now, and that was a brutal injury. Oh, that looked like it hurt. But the thing is, I went and looked. We didn't get much for him. We got late draft picks. So it would have been nice to keep him, because when he went to San Diego, he's rocking it. He's 34, but he's been the team leader, they said the last 3 years, and he's rocking it, and he's still playing at a high caliber. So why did we get rid of him again? Anyways, so Swift. I do that all the time. I get Swift and Sweat mixed up. Somebody made a comment last week, and he was right, even though I don't really want to hear those rude comments. I'm wrong. I'm old. I'm pickled. My brain's pickled, man. So forgive me if I mix up the names. Sweat needs to get in there. And the Bears said to him, the head coach, and Dennis Allen said to him, when you're not double teamed, which is rare, but they do single team them sometimes, they said, we expect you then to get to that quarterback. If you are single covered, your job is to get to that quarterback, hands down. Sack him, make him make a mistake, get in his face. And he's not doing it. So, but maybe the defensive line, I'm trying to be positive, is like the offensive line. I said each week they're going to get better and better. And I know the offensive line will, because we've got the talent. And they will. They didn't play in preseason together. So now they're doing it. Defensive line, I'm hoping maybe that's the same case. I don't know. But, our linebacker, Edwards, hurt as linebackers. Our linebackers are average at best. So everyone just needs to step up and earn their paycheck and have pride. And go out there. Have pride. You're a Chicago Bear. and your fans are sitting in that stands, paying those prices, and following you for 50 years, and I know there's a lot of people like me, and a lot of people, younger, you're still following them. So this town, well, I'm not there anymore, but you know what I mean. Illinois deserves a winner. I know the McCaskies can't get out of their own way, and that seems to be the problem too, but sometimes I just say to myself, I just don't get it. Why? You see all these other teams, and they're good, and they have injuries, and some of these have very average quarterbacks, and they're still winning. So what is it with the Chicago Bears that they can't have a consistent winning team? They did in the 80s, late, after 84 on. And, in the 90s, we were in and out of the playoffs. Obviously, we didn't go back to the Super Bowl until 2006. We were winning with Lovie Smith, but ever since then, nothing. And it's just frustrating as hell. But that's it, right? So my threes, I'm going to do my threes. Penalties, turnovers, 3 and outs. You have to have 5 or less penalties to be in the game or to win the game. No more than 5. Turnovers, well, we didn't have many last week, not at all. We need to continue. And that's been a problem with JJ and Gordon being out. Because not that, JJ gets a lot of interceptions, but with those guys in there, that frees up like a Brisker to get an interception or one of the linebackers. So that has been a problem, but we need turnovers because it's so good for your team. I mean, I don't have to tell you. And it keeps their defense on the field and their offense off the field. So turnovers, and that will only help our offense. So let's get some turnovers this week. We have no fumble recoveries. And then 3 and outs. Cut the 3 and outs down. You got to go down the field. I mean, I say this all the time. I want them to score at least 3 or 7 each time. But at least no 3 and outs, because those are just, and don't have, like they did last week, a 3 and out with 2 penalties. Well, no, that wasn't the 2 penalty ones, but don't do that. So eliminate the 3 and outs, be productive, move that ball, okay? So to win, they've got to do these 3 things to win or be in the game, win all 3 of them. We know that, Cabe, got to keep doing what you're doing. Look down the field. Set your feet, trust your line. We can only pray that somehow a running game appears on Sunday because we need it. Let's hope the wide receivers got a little lesson this week, a little wake-up call. And then our defense, you know what? They were freaking embarrassed last week, and I talked about, they set records because it's been that long since they gave up a lot of points. Sorry. So, defense, you got to get in his face. You got to get Dak's face. He's a good quarterback, but I know he can make mistakes too. See, they didn't take advantage of Goff last week. Obviously, he threw 5 interceptions, but Goff was somebody they could have messed with for sure, but they didn't. I mean, that game, I don't think the Bears had a chance because Green Bay embarrassed Detroit the first week. Detroit was at home, and they were playing against Ben Johnson. I don't think we stood a chance unless we were good as them, and clearly we were not. But I really didn't. I thought we were going to be 1-1 at this point because we should have won the first game. And I'm so tired of saying we should have won. We did that last year how many times? And I'm getting tired of it, but the fact is we should have won that first game. So, all right. We're 0-2. We're going in. Soldier Field, 3:30 game. It might rain, but fans, I know that sucks, but it's going to be warm. Get out there. And you screamed and loud. You were great on Monday night. Bring it back. Bring it, because you need to help the Bears. We need to help the Bears. We do. So that Dak Prescott and those players cannot hear them, and we can disrupt it that way. So we know what happens. The Bears have got to come out error-free, 110% disciplined team. And we deserve it, right? So that's the bottom line. I'm not going to stay on anymore. That's all. Again, I appreciate all of you watching me. I really do. And I just want to say one thing, though. I love that people turn me on. Boom, boom, and I like doing this. And people are great, but there's always one or two jerks that write nasty things. I get, and I delete them. And last year I had a problem with somebody, and I actually reported them to YouTube. So just be kind. Don't send me nasty stuff. I'm not doing it for that, really. I'm just here to talk about my favorite team, who I love, even though they piss me off. Excuse me. And to talk with you guys and maybe make you laugh, some of the stuff. I don't know, give you some stats. Maybe you learn something. But it's an easy show to listen to. I don't go overboard. I don't do schemes. I don't do tape. And it's okay if people do, like my buddy on Bears Country Productions. That's a live podcast. Check him out on, oh shucks, is it Thursday or Friday night? I forget what night, but check him out. Dan is cool, and they call him Shorty. Him and Foster do the show, so shout out to them. So come back. I'll see you on Monday, and if it's a Victory Monday, I will do the touchdown song. I know you want it. So again, be kind. I always have my show, be kind. Let's rally around each other. Tough times, man. Real tough times out there. I'm actually scared to death, I won't lie. But I'm hanging in. And you know what? This old lady, I smile at people. I was joking at the store today. You just got to be kind. There's not enough kindness in this world anymore. And we need it. Everybody is just too, I don't know, intense. Let's be kind and love one another, okay? Do it for this old lady. Come on, man. Give me a break. But anyways, thank you for watching me. This lady, 67-year-old, pickled lady appreciates it. So go Bears. Bring us home a victory. We want a Victory Monday. And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. See ya Monday.